The A's AL East Tour rolls on. The Athletics offense has shown up on this three-city trip. The green and gold have leaned on the long ball, having hit 16 home runs in their past 7 games. Last night was no different, as they posted 10 runs on 14 hits and rolled past the Blue Jays to take game 1 of this 4-game series. Tonight, they're at it again as Bob Melvin and the boys look for their 5th win on this tough road trip. Game 2, A's, Blue Jays, next. Well, it's game 8 of this 10-game trip for the Athletics, and we're in the Rogers Center here in Toronto. Brett Anderson will get the start tonight for the Athletics. It is the Oakland A's and the Toronto Blue Jays coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Big night offensively for the A's last night, and a big night for Chris Davis. He had 4 hits, including his 13th home run of the year, and man, has he been great on the road or what?
It's unbelievable. He's used the whole field, right field, center, left field. Everything he has done, the power has shown as he goes over the bullpen at Yankee Stadium. That started the road trip. He would continue at Fenway Park after this 3-run shot to left field, also at Yankee Stadium. Amazingly what he's done on this road trip. But, Kai, you just said it best. 4 hits last night. Home runs are good, but what he's so proud of is the way he is getting base hits without the home runs. This one to right field last night, 13 home runs. He continues to swing the bat well, but I like the fact that he likes to get base hits in addition to his home runs.
All right, 4th start of the year for Brett Anderson. 1 good one, 2 bad ones. He's got to be good tonight because this is a good Blue Jays offense.
If nothing else, in his last start against the New York Yankees, he struggled in the first inning. You see the numbers at his first start. The last 2 have not been that great. However, he said he learned that his changeup is a good pitch for him because that's the only pitch that was working for him against the Yankees in his last start. If that works for him starting the game tonight without giving up the runs in the first inning, maybe it would be a lot better for him.
And for the Blue Jays, it's the right-hander Marco Estrada. He's got a good changeup, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
So that's your pitching matchup tonight. Game 2 of the series. A's trying to make it 2 in a row over the Blue Jays. Stick around. We'll have lineups and first pitch from Rogers Center right after this.
local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
All right, Rogers Center, the place to be tonight. Game 2 of this 4-game series. Good win for the A's last night. They'll try to do it again tonight. So let's look at the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. The roof is not open.
Yeah.
It's closed. It's a little chilly outside, 58 degrees, and it's supposed to actually get colder, and it's supposed to be rainy and cold tomorrow, but it's a cooler day today.
Beautiful night last night with the roof open. A little bit of a breeze throughout the game, but a game nonetheless that was played with the open roof, and the A's did win the game and try to make it 2 in a row. And I think you said it best, you know, a trip in which the A's maybe could have had a better record, but right now they are 1 game over 500, 4-3 on this 10-game road trip. 3 remaining tonight, tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 4 back to the Coliseum.
Let's take a look at the lineups for the A's. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. So it's Marcus Semien, Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, Matt Olson, Mark Canha. Chad Pinder is playing third base tonight. Matt Chapman gets his first night off. And then it's Fowler and Josh Fegley making his season debut.
Well, you said it best, Kipe, about the changeup of one Marco Estrada. He throws it a lot last year in a game in which the A's did win. Actually, a game that the Blue Jays won, but he left trailing. But he did throw a changeup surprisingly in a couple of instances, and the A's hit him. We'll see how he does tonight, but changeup is his primary pitch, and he does have a pretty good fastball along with the cutter, but his changeup is one that he will throw anytime right over the top, and that makes it a very effective pitch.
Defensively behind Marco Estrada, this is what it looks like for the Blue Jays. Dwight Smith Jr., Pilar and Granderson in the outfield. Martin, Urshela, Solarte, and Smoke on the infield, and Luke Maile is the catcher.
Well, maybe because Russell Martin's playing third and Maile catching that, maybe that's why Pinder's playing third, giving Matt Chapman a day off. But might mention that the skipper Bob Melvin told his players, and I've never seen so many players on the second bus in my life, but they were there today, and Bob Melvin had simply said not going to do anything tonight nor tomorrow afternoon because of 2 rain delays, in one in New York, one in Boston. Arrived about 3 o'clock on Thursday morning before the game last night. Even though they won, going to just try to stay off the field a little bit.
So Marco Estrada kicks and delivers his first pitch, and it's in for a strike. Semien, Joyce, and Lowry, first 3 in the A's lineup against Marco Estrada. A little hesitation in that delivery. Marcus Semien was 1 for 5 last night. He walked, scored a run. Hooks that one foul.
There's your changeup.
That's Trip Gibson. He's calling balls and strikes. At first base is Shane Livensparger, and then Brian Gorman, the crew chief, is at second, and Adrian Johnson is down at third. Another changeup. We'll say that a lot tonight. And now full count.
He's trying to throw the changeup. It is an effective pitch for him, and a couple. One that was fouled by Marcus Semien. It's Matt Joyce waits.
Marcus, good swing there. Fouls it over to our right, so the count remains 3-2. Estrada kind of turns that body and then delivers, and that one cued right side. Estrada's going to take it himself, and he steps on first, and that's the first out of the ball game. Tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So 1 unassisted. You don't see that very often.
Well, you know what's interesting, watching Russell Martin, who is a catcher by trade, playing third base, he ran over and then probably realized, you know what, I can't let him catch his breath. So Estrada, after sprinting to first base, took forever to get back to the mound, because that is the time normally when a catcher or somebody would go out and let him catch his breath. But it's considered a mound visit now, so it's something that cannot be done to help the pitcher. And as a result, Martin went back to his third base position.
So here's Matt Joyce.
And this is typical, as the shift is a third baseman going over to the second base spot.
And that one is popped up. Foul territory. Smoke and Melee together, and it's going to be Smoke right in front of the A's dugout. He grabs it. So Joyce is retired, and 2 outs here in the first inning.
Well, for Matt Joyce, as the 2 going over, but typically you're going to have the first baseman or third baseman make the play. The catcher goes over as a courtesy, hoping that somebody's going to be there, as Melee was there to make the play, but it was Smoke coming in, a better shot at it, and he caught it easily.
So that'll bring up Lowry. Lowry fouls the first pitch back. Jed was 1 for 4 last night.
Well, that one hit came in the 3-run third inning for the Athletics, and what was interesting about the inning, Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis with a 2-run home run, but all 3 of those hitters went opposite field against Sanchez last night.
Slowly hit left side. Urshela, the shortstop, scoops it up, throws to first, side retired. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Marco Estrada. In the top of the first, and here come the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. Their starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is: Granderson, Donaldson, Smoke, Solarte, Pilar, Martin, Melee, Smith, and Urshela. That's the Blue Jay starting lineup.
Well, the former Blue Jay is facing his team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Brett Anderson, as we detailed, 3 starts that he has had a good one. This is his 4th start, and he hopes it's as good as his first, as good as his third, with a better change-up start in the game, one that he had very effectively working against the Yankees.
Facing Curtis Granderson, who's hitting .270. 3 home runs and 14 RBIs for Granderson, the veteran outfielder. Getting a chance to play pretty much every day for the Blue Jays, and he's having a good year.
He has had some big hits, playing well in the outfield.
Hits that one into right center field, and that's a base hit. So Granderson beats the shift, and that's a leadoff single for the Blue Jays. The A's defense has Joyce, Fowler, and Canna in the outfield. Pinder at third, Simeon at short, Lowry at second, Olsen at first, with Fegley doing the catching. Josh Fegley's back.
Yes, he is.
It's been actually a fairly busy 48 hours for the A's, as from a transaction standpoint. We'll give those all to you.
It could not ask for a worse city or country to fly in and out of.
That's
Toronto. And for Mickey Morbido, as we know, the best in the business as the director of team travel for the Athletics. But man, what a busy time for him, especially coming here.
Slowly hit toward Pinder. Pinder's going to go to first. The throw toward Olsen. He's got it. Donaldson is retired and Granderson to second. All right, so this is what happened today. The A's needed some help in the bullpen. They just needed a couple fresh arms. So they got Josh Lucas and Emilio Pagan for the bullpen. Andrew Triggs placed on the disabled list, and Ryan Dull was optioned to AAA. So the A's basically added a couple arms to their bullpen.
Well, with Triggs going short last night due to a nerve irritation in his right elbow hand. I mean, you can see him kind of flexing his hand, his thumb. Said it bothered him a couple of innings, but he had to leave the game. But the bullpen did a good job. Bob Melvin manipulated the bullpen, make sure he got a win last night, especially after having the big lead early.
1-0 to Smoke it. And then the transaction that got Fegley here actually happened yesterday with Bruce Maxwell being placed on the restricted list and Fegley being brought up from AAA. So quite a bit going on. And that one is lined to Simeon, who grabs it. So 2 away. But as far as Triggs, Ray, he said he felt it a little bit in the first inning.
Yep.
And then a little bit more in the second inning. And then when he felt it again in the third inning and he threw 6 consecutive balls, then it was like he felt like maybe it was time to get out of
Yeah,
there.
there was a close-up shot where he's kind of wiggling his thumb, which would be the nerves going down into his hand. And, you know, the problem you could see with the left-handers, he was not finishing and probably kind of recoiling a little bit, and as a result leaving the pitches outside of the lefties, and as a result sent back to the Bay Area. And let's hope all things are well.
Giancarlo Solarte. Solarte hitting in the cleanup spot. He's a switch hitter.
And those numbers show why, because he's a very good player. But the one thing the Blue Jays are missing, starting a couple years ago when Encarnacion signed with the Indians, then Bautista.
So here's what we're talking about with Andrew Triggs.
Yeah, see, shook his right hand, and they called Jonathan Lucroy out, and then the trainers came out, and Bob Melvin, and you know, he's probably saying, hey, I'm not feeling well. Why don't you see if somebody come out and take a look at me? They did, and as a result, Santiago Casilla came in, and the rest of the bullpen, they all did a great job. But, you know, Blake Trina didn't have to be used. He was the closer, and because of the A's 10-5 lead, Smero Petit got the win, as it was a scorer's decision.
So 1-2 the count to Solarte. With Granderson at second base. That one hooked foul. Rattles around in the Blue Jays dugout. May have got somebody.
You know, we always say if you're on the third base side, be careful of the left-handed hitters. This guy, Solarte, just proved that you have to be careful with the right-handers. I've never seen a guy pull the ball into the dugout. I mean, that's I think somebody else was shocked too.
In the dirt, 2-2.
Kept one of the things we talked about in Boston, the dugouts were so far away from home plate. Really all the catcher had to do was kind of glance to his left or right, depending on the catcher in the game. Here they have to literally turn their bodies to look at the dugout, because it's exact opposite of what Fenway Park is like with the dugouts.
And that one is line foul, headed into the seats. Be careful. Let's hope everybody's okay down the left field line. Straightaway defense for Solarte. And there's a base hit to left field. Joyce gets it on a big hop. Here comes Granderson. The throw to the plate is there. They got him. Matt Joyce with a beautiful throw, one hop to Fegley, and Fegley put the tag on Granderson. Trip Gibson said, "You're out."
Well, watch Fegley catch the ball towards the third base dugout, then reach back and tagged him on the chest, or actually in the midsection, as he came around. Great play by Josh Fegley, his first game coming back from AAA. And they're not going to look at it because that was a tremendous throw and an even better play at the plate. John Gibbons, a former catcher, appreciates that.
So that's how the bottom of the first ends, and the Blue Jays do not score. So as we come back, Chris Davis swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Urshela, who dropped it and then picked it up and threw out Chris Davis.
Time now for the Nissan keys of the game for Brett Anderson. Of course, the key for him is to go deep to help the bullpen, considering they worked a lot last night. And as KD crushes, so goes the team. That's good. KD crushes, so does the team. It's a good one. Crushes, K-R-U-S-H-E-S. Brett Anderson is the key. Starting pitching is always the key for a team to have success, and Brett Anderson needs to go deep for a lot of reasons.
Matt Olson shows bunt. There's the shift with Urshela, the shortstop, staying on the left side, and Russell Martin moving over. Russell Martin says, "Man, I'm used to being the only guy that's looking out."
That's right.
That's what the catcher is, right? The only guy that is in foul territory and who's looking out.
And can see everybody else, and not another position can see everybody the way a catcher can.
Good swing by Olson, fouled straight back. Home run last night for Olson. His swing's coming back.
I'll watch his swing by throw of an off-speed pitch, and he just kind of glided out after it and kept enough of the bat back. This ball just kept carrying. Looked like Grander's going to go to catch it and be a sac fly. Ball just kept going. And Matt Olson with home run number 8.
2-2 the count.
Okay, as we saw in Boston when he went over the Green Monster on Wednesday, opposite field home run. Last night pulled the ball, so his opposite field power is just as impressive as his pull power.
And that one is ripped toward right center, and I don't think anybody's going to get it. One hops the wall and it goes up over the wall, so it'll be a double for Matt Olson.
See, in that case, it's okay because there wasn't a runner at first base. Because that ball hit and then went over the fence for a ground rule double. But Matt Olson, there's your off-speed pitch, and 77, but it was left up by Estrada. And Matt Olson, of course, with Darren Bush, excellent hitting coach, talking about scouting report and how Estrada's best pitch is his changeup. He left it up, watch his ball bounce over the fence. But since nobody on base, well, it was going to get a double anyway, so that's perfect.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Canna. Canna playing in right field tonight. Kenna not in the starting lineup last night. He was 1 for 12 in that series at Fenway Park. There's the changeup, and that was a much better pitch, better location.
Well, he's got to get it down. All changeups need to be down, going down. That's why Trevor Cahill against the Orioles was spectacular, because his started about knee high and then ended up almost on the dirt.
Kenna with 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. This one's popped up near the catcher. Bailey is right there and reaches up with one hand and makes the catch. 2 outs. Let's look at that play at the plate again that ended the bottom of the first. And nice, see that nice one hop to Joyce, and then his throw was a one hop throw.
Well, the one hop there, and then Fegley, though, had to reach back. The problem that usually occurs right there, you reach out hoping you catch the ball. Fegley did not continue to go. He's showing that he held on. And the play that he made there to tag Granderson on his right hip, right there is when he got him before he hit the plate. But boy, you go after a ball that you know is sinking away from you. Sometimes you try to grab it too quickly and end up missing the ball. He did it perfectly.
And then as you watch that slide by Granderson, you know what you'd like to have the runner do is to try to slide away from the tag, but he's coming from foul territory, so it's hard for him to get to the other side of home plate. If he were able to do that, he probably would have avoided the tag, but that's very difficult to do. One foul just below us. 0-2 to Pinder. Pinder getting his first start at third base this year. He did play there a couple innings earlier in the season. And a 0-2 pitch, a high changeup, and Pinder strikes out. So Olsen is stranded, bottom of the second. Coming up, no score. No score, bottom of the second. This is a concern. Brett Anderson threw 4 or 5 warm-up tosses, and that is going to do it as he's kind of rubbing the back of that left shoulder. And we didn't like to see it last night. So this is head scratching time for Scott Emerson and Bob Melvin, but they're going to have to get somebody up and get him out there.
Yeah, the skipper must have, well, guess what? You show up, you're going to be in a game. But Bob Melvin must have been doing something, because Nick Paparesto went out when Brett Anderson, and then all of a sudden here comes Bob Melvin. So Well,
so
Mr.
that
Lucas.
is the new A, although he was up earlier. Josh Lucas, get in there.
Let's go.
Throw multiple innings. Let's go. When it's
I need
time
about
for change.
4.
Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. He'll be batting against Josh Lucas, a right-hander. So Brett Anderson goes 1 inning, and if there's anything official on what the injury may be, we will certainly pass it on. He was rubbing his left shoulder. So here's Lucas, who pitched in 1 game earlier this year. It was game 1 of that Red Sox series at the Coliseum that the A's lost, and he pitched 3 innings.
Yeah, pitched 3 innings, pitched well. He pitched the last 3, as a matter of fact. And we hardly knew him.
He was not there very long. He has not been with the A's very long. The A's got him from the Cardinals on the 31st of March. So that was right after the season started.
Yeah. And you know what happens in these situations, and you know, we hope Brett Anderson's okay, and last night Andrew Triggs, but you know, there's so much studying and video of players, hitters looking at pitchers, and all of a sudden he's gone. Yep. You know, and of course for Bob Melvin, the lefty started, and then he brings a righty in, which, you know, only has 1 left in the bullpen anyway with Danny Coulomb. So Lucas's job is to give some innings, because the bullpen already worn out last night, and not surprising that it's Lucas coming in as Pagan is back.
So 9 relievers for the A's, 8 righties and a lefty, and a good start for Lucas as he strikes out Kevin Pillar.
And you know, the nice thing too, Kai, Monday's an off day, which
that helps.
The A's are going to be looking forward to that for sure. But it's a good hard slider, and This is something that maybe the right-handers, Andrew Triggs last night, a similar type slider. This one more of a harder variety. Nice pick by Josh Fegley. See, maybe this works because Fegley said, hey, I just came up too.
Sure.
You know, so hey, come on in.
Here's Russell Martin playing third base tonight. Donaldson is DHing. So we don't see this a lot. Martin does have the ability to move around a little bit, but
I think I was told 11 games he started at third base. Maley's done a great job catching.
bends Russell Martin back out of the way. Martin, a slow start, just a 163 batting average.
Well, signed a huge contract following, of course, a year with the Yankees, a couple years with the Yankees, then on to Pittsburgh, and then signed a free agent contract coming back to his home country.
This is the fourth year of that 5-year contract he signed with the Blue Jays. 5 years, $82 million. So that's
a lot of money.
Deal.
Yeah.
And now the count 2-2. Russell Martin in disagreement with Trip Gibson.
Well, he's been behind the plate, and of course he hits the front part. Good sinking fastball. So the old sinker slider combination for Josh Lucas.
And that a breaking ball snaps in there on the inside corner. So back-to-back strikeouts for Lucas.
Well, Trip Gibson probably couldn't wait to do this. After Martin didn't like the first one, and probably really once he looks at that one, he's going to say, what is going on? Yeah, I got you. I always have to look, don't I?
Here's Luke Maile. Maile's average, as Ray said, doing a great job hitting .324 on base percentage over 400.
His career high runs batted in 15. He's one away as a backup catcher. 9 consecutive hits to start the season with a runner in scoring position. That's unheard of. You get a hit with runners in scoring position. You're happy if you do it half the time. He did it 9 consecutive at bats.
This is his 21st game he's played in.
John Gibbons usually utilizing different guys for various positions. I mentioned he does not have Encarnacion, who went to the Indians. Jose Bautista, they did not bring him back. He's now with the Braves. So there's 2 pretty good hitters out of the lineup. As John Gibbons, a former catcher, and some say doing his best job managing a team that is missing quite a few players.
Strike 3 called, and how about that inning for Josh Lucas? Who needs warm-up pitches? Get him in there. He strikes out the side.
Newly renovated 24-person suite, all-inclusive high-end food and drink. That's always great. Plus, you get free parking. Take the field pregame, your scoreboard message, as well as 24 hats for your group. Visit athletics.com for more information on an outstanding suite package. The executive suite package at the Coliseum.
Here's Fowler, who takes the first pitch in the dirt. Dustin Fowler hitting in the A spot.
Remember, this place was packed with 50,000 people every game. Over 4 million people they drew here when it was called Sky Dome, now Rogers Center.
Wow, that one's hit well, left field. Smith going back, Smith at the wall, and that baby's gone. Dustin Fowler, another first.
And opposite field on top of it, Kipe. That sounded great off his bat into the Blue Jays bullpen. Throw it back in. First major league home run. He gets his first triple, first stolen base, first run batted in. All before this home run tonight. And no silent treatment. This is an outstanding fastball, belt high away. He's running hard because thinking, hey, I'm a speed guy. But that was great off his bat, and another home run by an A's player.
Yeah, that's a good call, Ray. 17 home runs now hit on this road trip. 17. This is game number 8.
Well, for Dustin Fowler, he is a bright future for this ball club, and seeing him steal a base last night easily. See him play in the outfield, does a great job. And this ball, just listen. That's the sound of a home run. And Smith, with his back, going back to into the bullpen of the Blue Jays, and let's hope it's thrown back in or saved.
Fegley ropes one foul down the left field line. So you know what's great about that, Ray? Fowler, a stolen base last night, a home run tonight.
Absolutely.
We hope that that's the type of player that this young man turns into. A guy who can hit the ball at the ballpark some, and also maybe swipe you 25, 30 bags.
That's a good point, because he is the package, and we've talked about his center field plate, kind of a natural position for him, and he's got his first major league hit at Yankee Stadium. His parents were there showing how excited they were, and if they're watching tonight, they're really pumped.
Fegley swings and misses. So here's the first stolen base of his career last night.
And it was easy too, because he got such a good jump, and his speed is tremendous. Look at that form, and then goes feet first. Solarte up in front of the bag trying to make the play, and the ball bouncing. Actually, if Solarte had gone to the bag, it might have been a closer play, but he tried to catch it in front of the bag, maybe a little bit late getting there. But bottom line, Fowler with a good lead, good jump, head down, sprinter speed, and it made it easily.
Inside, and on the flip side, Marco Estrada, that's the 11th home run that he has allowed this year in 46 innings. That is a very high total.
Well, it shows too, Kate, because he threw a fastball. He's not overpowering with his fastball. That's what hurts. That's why it makes his changeup so effective. That fastball could almost be like a waste pitch, but he made too good of a pitch to Fowler, and maybe thinking pitching him outside. He's not going to do what he did.
He sets up outside. Marcus reaches for it. There's some interesting changeup notes on Marco Estrada. Last year, he threw his changeup 31.9% of the time. That's second most in the majors. That was last year. He's not changing really anything this year. Granderson hustling over near the seats, and he makes the catch. Nice play by Curtis Granderson. As you can see, right where he caught it, there's not a whole lot of room down there.
Well, another stadium with not a lot of foul territory, but a pad on the side, and the fans appreciated the effort by the veteran Granderson. They gave away a Curtis Granderson t-shirt last night. It was the best quality t-shirt giveaway I've ever seen.
What made it a quality t-shirt?
The thickness of
it was a good t-shirt.
Good t-shirt. I mean, it wasn't thin, one of those it was thick. And I was telling him tonight, I said,
firm collar?
Huh?
Firm collar? Didn't get
Yeah,
bacon collar?
No, it was good all the way. And I said, you know, if I could have gotten an XL, I'd be wearing it. But a small.
You're not an XL. You're like you're a medium.
Yeah, right. But I'm surprised when he said, well, I hope I get something. What do you mean? It's sure giveaway. I hope you get cases of them. Nice young man, Curtis Granderson.
Yes, he is. Fouled straight back by Matt Joyce.
Kev, I think, again, you said it best, started this road trip. This young man, Matt Joyce, starting to swing the bat well. So he's swinging the bat well. You see Fowler doing it. Olsen and Chapman both hitting home runs last night. And it's just a nice combination of good at bats 1 through 9.
I don't think that the A's offense is what anybody that's a fan of the A's should be concerned about.
No.
They're going to score runs and they're going to hit home runs, and
it will come down to the guy on the mound, the pitching.
There's the changeup. Joyce swings and misses. Fowler with his first career home run, and he went the other way. How about that? There it is. A's with a 1-0 lead after 2.5. First big league home run. He'll remember that forever. You'll be able to say 30 years from now, Dustin, pitcher, Marco Estrada. He'll know the count, he'll know the inning, he'll know the ballpark, he'll know the attendance, time of game, winning, losing, he'll know it all.
And Glenn Kuiper made the call.
Yeah, that's right.
Apo Taco, as they say.
Dwight Smith Jr. rolls it just foul. Dwight Smith Jr. His dad was a good player with the Cubs. I want to say that his dad won the Rookie of the Year in the National League.
Say you're probably right.
I think he did. I want to say maybe 88, 89, somewhere in there.
Well, you're a historian. You know all this stuff.
Dwight Smith.
Seeing more and more of the players coming up, the sons of players.
Boy, that's the truth. Blue Jays fans are screaming at the organization to get a couple of players up that are very well-known names, Guerrero and Bichette.
That's right. And if the two boys could do anything their fathers did, whew.
I tell you what, anybody around baseball, you ask them about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and they are like, he is going to be a star.
But was it Montreal? They had an exhibition game and he had a walk-off wearing number 27. I mean,
he'll be in the big leagues this year with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's a third baseman, and he's 19 years old, Ray, and I looked up his numbers. He's hitting .407 in Double-A with 40 RBIs in 34 games. He's the youngest player in the league.
Yeah. Just had a 4-hit a couple of nights ago.
He's supposed to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Big, strong kid, third baseman. Dante Bichette's son is Bo Bichette. He's a shortstop, second baseman. That the Blue Jays are just they're waiting for these kids, and the kids are close.
And you know, the Guerrero situation, you just mentioned third base, and they've got Josh Donaldson as a free agent after this year. And how about this?
Let's talk about Lucas.
Smart play of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. How about 4 batters faced out of the bullpen? Oh, by the way, come down and enjoy the game. Oh, you're in the game already? Slider, he just drops down, and good fastball there, froze the hitter, and Josh Lucas struck out not only the side but the first batter in this inning. So it's like the king in his court. You guys just go back and stay in the clubhouse. Don't need to come out.
Here's Giovanni Urshela.
Well, Cap, one thing for sure, there's a young man by the name of Luke Trevino who opened the eyes of the A's. The skipper loved him, did a great job, and he's with the ball club now, and the back end of the bullpen doing a job.
Simeon, he's got it behind second base. The throw, got him.
I almost hesitated, double clutch, maybe trying to get a good grip. Maybe was shocked that the ball was put in play. But up the middle right there, and he had it, and then a little bit extra, and had to put extra on the throw. Nice stretch by Matt Olson. And that completes a 6-3 putout. Good play on both ends.
So here's Granderson. But how about this with Josh Lucas, Ray? When we were on the bus coming over at 3:30, Mickey Morabito, the director of team travel, was on the phone, and he was checking on Lucas's flight to make sure it had taken off. Not that it had landed. To make it, that was at 3:30. So he got to the ballpark at about 6.
Unbelievable.
At 7:30, he's in the game. So
and
sometimes that's better than
and no chance to do anything because it show up. There was no BP for the A's, no infield. Actually, Chad Pinder was out with Matt Williams taking some ground balls because he's playing at third base tonight.
Swing and a miss. Lucas was coming from Oklahoma City. That's where Nashville was playing. So it's not a quick flight either. Acquired from the Cardinals on the 31st of March. 1-2 pitch, strike 3 call. 2 perfect innings for Josh Lucas with 5 strikeouts. 4th inning coming up. The A's with a 1-0 lead. Say, show me the Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. We are in Toronto, Canada. Hey, that's Josh Lucas. 3 hours ago, he was on an airplane.
4 hours ago, it's Oklahoma City.
Oh, man.
Wow, what a. Well, it's, you know, we chuckle about it, and success he has had in 2 innings is great, but you know, concern back-to-back nights in which the starting pitcher has gone short. Last night in the 3rd inning, Andrew Triggs came out. Tonight, taking his warm-up tosses in the 2nd, Brett Anderson goes out. Already, A.J. Puck and Jarrell Cotton with Tommy John surgery. Kendall Graveman, the starting pitcher for the A's this year, back in AAA.
Lowry hits one foul, 2nd level. So 1-2 the count. Lowry grounded to short in the 1st inning. Davis to follow, and then Olsen here in the 4th inning. That one's driven left center. That's hit well. Smith and Paul are coming together. Nobody's going to get it. Up against the wall, and it's another double for Jed Lowry.
Well, you have to wonder, okay, is that ball hit very well with 2 strikes? And here comes Estrada again. 78, a change up, and you know, again, good scouting report, because basically the A's hitters are doing well against a pitcher that is known to have one of the best changeups in the game. This ball bouncing, hitting up, coming back, but staying in the park. So just like Fowler, opposite field home run. And now Jed Lowry goes opposite field with his patented double.
So here's Chris Davis, RBI opportunity for Davis. First pitch, foul, straight back. RBI leaders, Machado with 40. JD Martinez and Chris Davis with 38. Lowry with 37. For Lowry,
wow,
with 57 hits. First in the big leagues.
We saw in New York with Chris Davis going over the bullpen. Well, last night, same thing. I mean, over everything in right field. That's over the bullpen into the seats. But because of his single last night with a shift, Solera, the second baseman, is playing on the first base side of second, so he's not giving him as big a hole at the right side as he did last night when he singled.
This one's bounced to the left side. Shella has to hurry and get Davis. So 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Well, if you can, and it's sometimes easier said than done, an off-speed pitch, if you can stay back, let it travel and go opposite field, but he got out in front and rolled over the pitch from Estrada, and just a base hit or a ground ball to the left side.
So here's Olsen. He doubled in the 2nd inning. So the A's have 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a homer. So Ray, we mentioned the fact that the A's have hit 17 home runs now on this road trip. This is the 8th game of the trip. The A's have 45 home runs on the road. That's the most road home runs in the major leagues.
That's unbelievable.
So 59 total. So think about that. 45 on the road, 14 at home. I didn't realize that. I know they've hit a lot of home runs on the road, but I didn't realize it was that big of a difference.
Now, I know they've been playing a lot of games on the road, but and it's going to start being more at home. But you're right. I mean, it's usually easier to hit at your own park, and it's not that the Coliseum is not a good hitter's park, probably a better pitcher's park because of foul territory, but it's going to warm up and it's going to travel better. And if you're strong enough, it doesn't matter where you're hitting them because they're going to go out. And it's not like the A's have had a lot of cheap home runs in this road trip.
Well, the A's have played 20 home games, and this is their 25th road game. So a few more road games than home games. Pretty sure that's going to even up at the end of the year. I always say that.
It's the most brilliant statement I've ever heard today.
It's one of those really bad jokes that the guy just keeps saying over and over. Oh. So 45
That's
home
amazing.
runs on the road. 14 at home.
As I was looking at the month of August, only 10 road games that whole month.
Yeah.
So there's.
That's it. There's your even or outer.
Yeah. Even or outer?
Even or outer.
Can we look that up in Webster?
It's not in Webster. I say a lot of things that aren't in Webster.
Hey, we have Mark Ling back with us, though. Hey,
great Mark Ling.
Mark is back with us. He was in Boston up on the perch, and here he's just looking out over the perch.
So Mark Ling is keeping us in line up here. That one's hit to right field. Granderson backing up. Granderson in front of the wall with just enough room, and he makes the catch.
Well, that's what he did last night. The ball just kept traveling. Jed Lowry maybe a little bit upset that he didn't tag, but you know what? There's one out. You normally don't tag with one out and have the ball drop. You say it all the time, and just what Olsen did last night, this is providing his own power, the pitch away from him, but just kind of glides forward, keeps the bat back, and the man is a strong young man and just caught at the warning track. Even or outer. I'll be thinking about that later. I'll write that down for the future.
Even or outer. Here's Canna. He's needed 2-out hit now. They don't want to let this Lowry leadoff double go to waste. Double for Lowry, his 11th of the year. In the dirt. Maley grabs it. He's with a 22-22 record. In fact, both these teams right at the 500 mark. These are 11-13 on the road, improving on that road record. And trying to have a good road trip. They're 4-3 on this trip. 3 more to play, including tonight. So your best case scenario is 7-3, and that would be cause for a significant celebration. Your worst case scenario, 4-6. So there you go. 1-2 to Mark Canna. Strada's going to step off.
Oh, win tonight and have 5 wins on the road trip and then get greedy.
Yeah, that's right.
And then go for the 7.
Canna popped out to the catcher in the 2nd inning. Shallow center. Pilar covers everything out there, and that will do it. So Lowry is stranded. The A's do not score. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Donaldson to lead it off. leading off the third inning. So bottom of the fourth. Story right now is Josh Lucas, who was brought in the second inning after Brett Anderson left, and 2 perfect innings for Lucas with 5 strikeouts. So what do you want to know about Josh Lucas? Well, he's 27 years old. He's 6'5". And right now we like him a lot.
Well, Sam, between innings, and granted, different situation in the game on April the 20th at the Coliseum when he faced the Red Sox. Still a very good lineup, but just 25 pitches in 3 innings that he threw in that game, and had a couple of ground ball double plays. Careful here on the 3-0 to the bringer of rain.
And he missed up and in. So that's the first base runner against Lucas. It's a leadoff walk. If you're just joining us, as we said, Brett Anderson left after 1 inning. And earlier today, the A's brought up Lucas and Emilio Pagan just for some bullpen reinforcements. Because last night, with Triggs leaving, the A's bullpen went 6 2/3 innings and threw 114 pitches. And both bullpens worked a lot last night.
Yeah. Blue Jays used 6 relievers. John Gibbons just had everybody out of the bullpen, just trying to shut down the A's, but A's ended up scoring 10 runs.
Strike call to Justin Smoke, who lined out to the shortstop, Simeon. And the shift is on, and now Pinder and Simeon switch, with Pinder going to the right side of second base, Simeon staying at his regular shortstop spot. They just flip-flopped right after that last pitch.
This is a case where the strong arm, well, both Simeon and Pinder have strong arms.
So Smoke strikes out, and good off-speed pitch from Lucas. 6 strikeouts.
You know, he threw 4 fastballs to Josh Donaldson, all 4 out of the strike zone. So what does he do with Smoke? This. So Josh Phegley, I'm sure Lucas is going with his catcher, and Josh Phegley, first pitch slider to Justin Smoke for a strike, and then stay with the pitch. Three sliders and a strikeout. 6th strikeout already.
So that'll bring up Yangervis Solarte, who had the base hit in the first inning. And that one's hit to center, shallow. Fowler hustling in, still coming in. And Fowler, who was playing pretty deep but had plenty of time, had good speed to come in and make the catch. Ray, did you know that Josh Lucas, who's been a reliever, but he's got 6 strikeouts. That's the most strikeouts he's had in any game at any level in professional baseball.
I'm not surprised. It's easy at this level. It's a piece of cake.
Just be around the strike zone, right?
But you have the kind of slider he has tonight, and you know the little drop down, and you know this is the second time through the batting order. Actually, Solarte, Pilar was the first batter that he faced. Struck him out, of course, struck out the side. Started the second inning.
Quick throw, and Donaldson just gets back. So 0-1 the count to Pilar, who was the first man that Lucas faced leading off the second inning. Rolls that one foul. Luis Rivera is the third base coach for the Toronto Blue Jays. Tim Leeper is the first base coach. Thought he had like a big cell phone up to his ear. One of those cell phones from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
The really, really big ones. Popped up. Simeon backs up a little bit. And that'll do it. What a job so far by Josh Lucas. 3 hitless innings.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
There's a good look at downtown Toronto. Can't miss the CN Tower, which is it overlooks Rogers Center. Won't see anything tonight, though. The roof is closed on a cool evening here in Canada.
Well, in April, there was a lot of ice on the CN Tower that caused a delay, actually postponement of a game that broke a panel up above. And God, this is a job I was thinking about you, that John Gibbons told me that they sent somebody up to melt the ice, and I thought that would have been a good job for my partner.
Wow.
It was scary. I mean, can you imagine a chunk of ice coming off the CN Tower?
Very scary.
And landing on the roof here at Rogers Center.
Pinder strikes out for the second time.
Well, that's it. And if you get an elevated fastball after changeups, then that's usually what happens. Remember, Pinder's had a lot of success against lefties. And not that he can't hit righties, but that was a good fastball from Estrada up in the zone.
So here's Fowler. So Fowler in AAA this year. Now, he hit his first big league home run. He did hit 3 this year in AAA in 30 games.
Which I know what you're saying. You don't want him to think about home runs to the point that he changes the swing. But if you go opposite field, hit a home run, I don't think you're trying to yank and pull everything.
That's a good call. I mean, if you hit a ball like he did, I think you've done just about everything perfect, right? To hit a ball out the other way means you got to stay back.
Exactly. Good changeup. But it's a fastball away. Watch a swing by Dustin Fowler on a pitch really away from him. And it looks almost like the swing he had when he got his first major league hit, only he pulled that one to right center. But this one, he just let the ball travel, went to the opposite field. And meanwhile, he's maybe getting on base now with a walk and see what happens with his running.
Two pitch, and there's the changeup, 78 miles an hour. That one hung at the inside part of the plate, but Fowler swings and misses.
Well, they've got to be thinking about it, and You still have to think fastball, so when he pulls the string and he's right over the top, that's usually the result. And a very good pitch by Estrada. And I think there's sometimes, Cap, that he could throw it more often that he doesn't. And if you have a good changeup, you can throw it every pitch because I don't think hitters are ever going to look for it.
Sure. And there it is. Here's another changeup note. He has recorded 41% of his strikeouts with his changeup. So there you go.
Yeah.
So it's a not all changeups are strikeout changeups.
Exactly.
His is.
Yeah.
Lifted toward right. And Granderson grabs it. So that's a good inning for Marco Estrada. He's retired 6 in a row. Bottom of the 5th coming up. The A's top 50 most memorable moments in Oakland. Now we want fans to pick the most memorable moment. It's a season-long promotion. Tonight it's Dallas Braden's perfect game against Josh Donaldson's tarp catch. Dallas's game was 2010. The tarp catch was 2013. Fans can vote through our A's Twitter poll. The play that wins advances to face the next memorable play. So it looks like Dallas Braden's perfect game has won a couple rounds, and now it's going up against that great tarp catch by Josh Donaldson, which was later made into a bobblehead.
Did you get one?
Yeah, we got one in our house.
Yeah.
Got a Ray Fosse bobblehead in our house. I wish they should have put like a chip in yours though, where you were saying something. See, I'm trying to think. What
It costs too much. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a good one. Wow.
How about another strikeout? Wow.
How about a wow? There you go.
That
is 7 strikeouts for Lucas in 3 1/3 innings.
Those sidewinder and breaking ball elevated a little bit, but still got the job done as Russell Martin, second time he has struck out. Both times against Josh Lucas.
And only 41 pitches. So he's faced 11 hitters, walked 1, struck out 7.
Well, the nice thing about the pitchers, Danny Coulomb gets loose, or is getting loose. But nice thing about the 2 pitchers starting tomorrow and Sunday for the Athletics, 2 pitchers who are capable of pitching deep in a game. Let's hope that would be the case. That's an impressive line. Talk about a bullpen saver.
Don't you think that for a manager, it's got to be the worst 2 or 3 things that can happen in a game is your pitcher coming out very, very early. And it's even worse when it's an injury, because then you're worried about the injury itself. But for Bob Melvin right now, I mean, Lucas is totally saving him, obviously, but he has to think about who pitched last night, because it happened last night too.
Right. Well, exactly.
Tonight, and then tomorrow, and the next day. I mean, it's just, it can be a nightmare for a manager when your pitcher leaves, the starting pitcher leaves in the first, second inning. Little flip job down the third base line, fair. Bailey's going to try for 2, and he's going to make it with a 1-out double. So I think kind of a little lob wedge.
Yeah, and I think if Matt Joyce comes up with it cleanly, that Mailey was going to stop it first. Kind of rounded the bag, hesitated momentarily, and then saw the bobble in left field. It's going to be a double all the way, but you're right. It was just a kind of a lob chip, and Matt Joyce came in perhaps thinking the ball had some spin on it. See the bat breaking, or hear the bat breaking. See the spin right there when it hit the turf. Kind of checked up a little bit.
And here's Dwight Smith. Grounds it to third. Pinder has it. Pinder was playing in. Throws in time.
Like he had to wait a little bit. Maybe he had such a strong arm, but he kind of double pumped. Maybe Matt Olson, who was playing back a little bit, maybe it took a little bit longer for him to get to the bag.
So here's Urshela. Gio Urshela. Remember, we saw Urshela with the Indians, and he was playing third base.
Yep, yes, he was.
Playing shortstop tonight. But he was given a fairly decent opportunity with the Indians. That was before Jose Ramirez decided to be a star.
Yeah, he decided he's going to be a star and colored his hair blonde, and the rest is history.
So Urshela, who came over from the Indians just a couple of weeks ago, actually even less than that, on the 9th of May trade.
Well, Troy Tulowitzki, I know that he is on the disabled list and just horrible. Bay Area product, that just too many injuries throughout his career, especially with the Blue Jays. He's on the 60 and has not put a uniform on yet for the Blue Jays this year.
And there's a base hit to right field. Here comes Mailey, and it's going to be a tie game. So Urshela drops one into right field.
You know, if you think about the 2 hits, one a broken bat double down the left field line, this breaking ball stayed inside, and maybe at that point tiring, and that's why Bob Melvin's going to the mound. But what a spectacular job for Lucas, as Mailey does score and the ball down the right field line.
Took that big hop, and it was tough for Canada to kind of get set up to get the throw off quickly. But a pretty good job by Josh Lucas. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
or convention. Get started by contacting the Santa Clara Convention and Visitors Bureau at santaclara.org/meetings.
Well, the Blue Jays have tied it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Urshela with a 2-out RBI hit to score Maley, now top of the order. As Curtis Granderson steps up, and Manny Coulombe will face him. Lefty on lefty. There's a strike on the outside corner. Granderson with a single, and then he struck out looking.
Now Coulombe with a record without a win, but pitching well, struck out 3 in Fenway on Wednesday night. Did not pitch in last night's game.
Granderson fouls that one off himself, and the count is 0-2.
If you think about Josh Lucas and how effective he was when he first came in, I mean, he was outstanding, and even throughout this inning got a bloop double and a bloop base hit, but he struck out 7. But you could see the pitch to Urshela where the slider was up and he just lofted it out to right field. But 7 strikeouts for the right-hander, career high. Now trying to get this final out back to the dugout. After that kind of a performance, you don't want to be a pitcher of record.
Inside with a fastball. Short lead at first by Urshela. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for the Blue Jays, but they tie it. A couple of hits, so we're headed to the 6th inning, and this ball game is all tied at 1. In the Blue Jays. Sporting the A's sweatshirts.
Yep.
They'll need that if they're walking anywhere tonight. Top of the order for the Athletics against Marco Estrada. 73 pitches for Estrada. He's got 5 strikeouts. He has not walked anybody. It's quickly 0-2. Estrada, who is 34 years old, will be a free agent after this year. So he would like to have a good season.
At his age, it might be against him considering what happened last winter.
Well, the Blue Jays have a whole bunch of free agents after this year. Donaldson and Granderson. Could go on and on. Estrada, J.A. Happ is a free agent. Martin, who throws, and they just get Marcus Simeon on a very close play. Martin had to wait for that ball just a little bit.
Now the catcher's arm and threw the ball straight down. Actually, nice play by Justin Smoke at first base because it was a low throw, but he's able to come up with it. Looked like Martin, as he caught the ball and flipped it into his bare hand, or at least took the ball out into his bare hand, turned it so he got a four-seam grip, but went straight down.
Here's Matt Joyce. Yeah, bring that up, Ray. These free agents, the Blue Jays, with the free agents, will clear out $65 million worth of contracts next year.
U.S.?
That I do not know.
It probably is. Everything is U.S., Canadian, but it's money regardless. But you're right. And Donaldson's what, 23?
Donaldson's $23 million.
Talking about Guerrero, if he's as good as they say he is, he would be a minimum salary for a couple, 2 or 3 years. That could be a huge savings there.
So I mean that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. A ton of money.
Completely change the outlook of your payroll going into next year. 1-2 pitch to Joyce is a little high. Jaime Garcia, who was supposed to pitch on Sunday, but they put him on the disabled list.
Yeah, they talked about a lot of change. They had Biagini and Vilio in the bullpen last night. They didn't use them, but Jaime Garcia had the one start with the Twins.
That's right.
Against the A's, and one start, and he was gone.
But he has a club option next year for $10 million.
Wow.
So they may not pick that up. That would be another $10 million.
That's right. It's on top of the 66.
That's right. And there's the changeup, and that is strikeout number 6.
You know, it's easy to say, gosh, look for it, guys, but you know, it's hard to look changeup on 3 and 2, even though he has a great one, because you just are afraid if he throws a fastball, then you're stuck.
And a good changeup, you see guys swing like that swing by Matt Joyce. It almost looks like about a third of the way into their swing, they realize it's a changeup.
Yeah. And they've already
and then
committed.
they reach a little bit.
Yeah, they've committed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's. But a good one is one that looks just like a fastball, and that's why Estrada does have the excellent changeup right over the top, and it does look like a fastball, and that's why hitters swing thinking it's a fastball.
And there is the fastball, 89 miles an hour.
Rich Harden at his prime, he was throwing just fastball changeup at 90 miles per hour. Looked like a splitter because it went down so effectively.
1-2 the count now to Jed Lowry, who has rounded to short and doubled.
You know, the leadoff double back in the 4th inning. The A's did not do anything with him leading off the double and you know, give Estrada a lot of credit because he's pitched well, except for the home run to Fowler. Fastball in.
And that one's lined down the right field line, foul.
See, these are the cases just like with Fowler. I mean, it's 1-0 as a fastball. He throws a good changeup, but in the case of 1 and 2, you go fastball and you take a chance of really getting hurt. I wonder what his glove smells like.
He's finding out. A little bit high in the count, 2-2 now to Lowry.
Andy Pettit used to do that, kind of peek over his mitt when his glove when he looked into this is the extreme.
And you also want to know why glove contracts, they always give them to pitchers first. It's a true story.
Yeah, I know. And
because the camera is on the pitcher.
That's right.
Every pitch.
And especially
we just showed a Rawlings glove twice.
Yeah. and especially with Estrada with that unorthodox kind of setup, you know. So you say, wow, let's take a look at this.
It's a good looking glove Rawlings makes. Another foul ball.
Well, Jim Hughes, who is VP of Rawlings Sporting Goods, and of course they are the presenter of the Rawlings Gold Glove.
So he's a big fan of us right now because we're talking about his glove.
You know who he likes? He likes us and your brother because we're the only ones who talk about Rawlings Gold Glove. Everybody says Gold Glove. No, it's the Rawlings Gold Glove.
That's right. Has a chance to fall. Pilar can't get it. Lowry is going to try for 2, and he's going to make it. So a double for Lowry.
And a great event by Jed Lowry because Estrada found off 3 with a couple of strikes, and great effort by Pilar. That Jed Lowry thought 2 as soon as he hit the ball. Straight up. Pilar broke back just maybe a half a step, and maybe that was a half a step that cost him. Good backup by both Granderson, but this is the tail end of the play. Brian Gorman, the second base umpire, out there. But Jed Lowry, you got to think 2 right there because he's thinking if it drops, I got to keep going because it's going to come up off the turf, which it does. This is field turf, which a lot of times you'll see the ground up tires that pops up when the ball hits the turf. So Jed Lowry continues to have that magical season. Danny Barnes, the right-hander, is getting loose quickly. Once again, a pitch count for a starting pitcher elevated. These hitters are doing a great job as they've done this entire road trip, getting the starting pitchers a high pitch count.
First pitch to Davis on the ground is short. So Shella across the diamond. And the A's do not score. Bottom of the 6th coming up. The A's won and the Blue Jays won. It'll be Donaldson, Smoke, and Solarte. So the big bats for the Blue Jays against Danny Coulombe. Donaldson, a ground out and a walk. So yeah, Donaldson a free agent, Ray. What do you think? You think he's going to get traded, or will he stick here the whole season?
You know, it depends on the Blue Jays, but it's going to be an uphill battle for them because of the Yankees and the Red Sox. And I mean, they've got to stay close. And right now they're a 500 team, as you mentioned, both A's and the Blue Jays at 22-22. But I'd say it'd be interesting for a team going down the stretch. That is Chris Hatcher getting loose quickly.
Now just looking, yeah, so I mean, listen, the reality is, like you said, they're probably playing for the wild card, one of the wild card spots. And right now, with the Blue Jays at 22-22, and granted it's the middle of May, so it's really way too early, but for conversation's sake, They would be 3 games behind the Angels for the second wild card spot. So, like I said, it's the middle of May.
The second wild card team is going to be maybe all the way down to the end of the season. If that's the case, then you have the Red Sox and Yankees going head to head at the end of the season. And usually you like to see the divisional foes go head to head, but somebody's got to play out of the division, really out of the league because of interleague play.
It's one of those decisions always difficult for an organization. Yeah. Are you legitimately in it?
Right.
And are you ready to trade a really, really good player in Donaldson? Because you will have takers for Josh Donaldson.
Exactly, and because I mean they know how much he wants postseason. He wants the ring. He's been to postseason, but not to the big dance all the way to the end.
And of course, the Blue Jays wild card team in 2016, wild card team in 2015, but last year they fell to 76 and 86. But disappointing finishes to the season in both 15 and 16. Of course, anytime you have real good teams and you don't make it to the World Series, it's going to be a disappointing finish.
Exactly.
But they did get to the postseason.
Yeah.
So 1-2 now to Justin Smoke.
You know, one thing with Josh Phegley's ability to throw out base runners, he has a very, very strong arm, and as he looks over to the skipper regarding what they're going to do now, but this really helps a pitcher. In this case, the lefty Danny Coulombe, and even from the manager's standpoint, he may not have the pitcher throw over a lot because of the arm strength of Josh Phegley.
Smoke rolls it foul again.
You might wonder why Danny Coulombe was in at this part of the batting order. You had Josh Donaldson, a very powerful right-hander, walked him on 4 pitches, but then you have switch hitters coming up, and manager opting to turn them around. Of course, Chris Hatcher loosening quickly, and maybe for Pilar, the true right-handed hitter. Fastball away.
Coulombe struck out Granderson to get the A's out of the 5th inning. Not close.
See, he quick pitch there and really unnecessarily and left the pitch outside. And, you know, again, maybe not to the arm strength of Pudge Rodriguez, what Johnny Oates said to the pitchers, don't even worry about because he'll take it. But Phegley throws as well as anybody, and all you have to do as a left-handed pitcher, just look at the runner. I don't know if Josh Donaldson's going to be running anyway, but if you hurry, you may make a mistake to this hitter, and that could be very dangerous. The power of Smoke.
And now it's 3-2. Smoke with 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, and a .255 batting average coming into tonight.
Now, if he does run now, this is more of a run and hit, not necessarily trying to steal and trying to stay out of a double play, and that is if he runs.
Donaldson is not running, and that is a swing and a miss.
Maybe that's the reason, because of Danny Coulombe making a very, very good pitch, and Smoke, of course, the 38 home runs he had last year. There's a hard slider back foot out of the strike zone, but a hitter thinking fastball, I'm going to get it. Nope, there's a slider, and excellent pitch thrown by Danny Coulombe. Hard, that's the key. Throw it hard, make it look like it's a fastball, and have that late movement, the back foot, and a strikeout for a switch hitter who probably hoping Hatcher or some right-hander would come in so he could turn around.
So A's pitchers now with 8 strikeouts, and here's Hervis Solarte. Donaldson runs, and he's going to have a stolen base. Phegley cannot get a throw off.
See, that's first move. And, you know, statistically, you look at the sheet and you say, well, he's not really a candidate to run. And what's the first move? As soon as he lifted his leg, Donaldson took off, straight steal all the way. Josh Fegley tried to transfer and did not have the grip.
Do you think, Ray, Donaldson's a pretty smart player? Do you think maybe the whole Smoke at bat, maybe he's thinking, you know what, I'm not going to get a big lead.
Yep.
I'm not going to act like I'm running.
That's right.
And if Smoke doesn't get a base hit, I'm going to then maybe during this at bat, maybe take a shot at doing what he did.
Great point.
Solarte is out, and now Donaldson is at third. Because I think if you're a pitcher and you just don't get the feeling like a guy's going to go,
right,
you may then when the next guy comes up think, yeah, and then boom, Donaldson takes him on.
But see, if Donaldson doesn't steal, that's a 4-6-3 double play. And so he does run, gets his scoring position, to your point. And plus, Cap, there is that hole on the right side with Smoke up and maybe swing a little bit late and be able to hit the hole. And now Donaldson's at third.
First pitch to Kevin Pillar. It's a strike. Interesting splits for Pillar this year. He's hitting .350 against right-handed pitching. He's hitting .212 against left-handed pitching. So let's hope that
now we know
falls into this category here.
And actually, that's why we know that Danny Coulomb stays in the game, because of those splits, and that's something that managers and pitching coaches will watch and look at throughout a game.
Pillar slices one down the right field line, but it's going to be caught by the ball boy.
And you know the reason, really, Pillar last night, a couple of hits, one of them to right field. He waits a long time. Waited a long time that way, and by the time the ball got on him and he did swing, it was too late. It's almost like he's waiting a long time in case he gets the slider that Smoke got.
Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Danny Coulomb with a good inning. Couple of strikeouts. And Donaldson is stranded at third. Fowler served in the Royal Canadian Infantry from 1942 to 1945. His career with the Philadelphia Athletics, 66 and 79 with 11 shutouts. He's got a no-hitter on his resume. He was the first Canadian to throw a no-hitter. It was in 1945 and elected to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985. Dick Fowler, a member of the Philadelphia Athletics.
Let's see, 66 and what, 79, so he'd probably be making about $30 million a year.
Yeah. Yes, he would. Olson on the first pitch, grounds out. So one away here in the top of the 7th inning. Marco Estrada has been good. 6 strikeouts. The only run, the Fowler home run, that was in the 3rd inning.
And he'll probably go to bed tonight thinking, why did I throw him a fastball elevator like that for him to go opposite field? But he did, and that's why the A's have their 1.
So the only other Canadian-born pitcher to throw a no-hitter outside of Dick Fowler, James Paxton.
Eh?
Just a very short time ago. Canada way out in front, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and he did it in his home country. James Paxton.
Right here.
Right here at Rogers Center, and there's a ground ball. Seager did it. Ryan Healy on the receiving end.
Well, we know all about James Paxton. We
Yeah.
watched him strike out 16 A's in 7 innings, so
Yeah,
we get it.
we get
Yeah,
it
we
for
get
sure. And really just happy that they took him out because
Man,
the A's were saying,
it's the best
wow,
thing that happened in that game.
yeah, get him out. The A's scored 3, won 3-2.
Canada has fouled out and hit a fly ball to center field. Shallow left center. Pilar comes flying in and he makes the catch. So 2 outs here in the 7th inning. .96 pitches for Estrada.
Fergie Jenkins, Canadian-born, right? You just pointed out that he didn't pitch a no-hitter. Surprising. Hall of Famer.
He did not.
Did not. Great career that he had. Thank you very much for that note. Ferguson Jenkins. Longtime Cub. Ranger. Chad Pinder is having a tough time figuring out Marco Estrada tonight. Playing 3rd base, and twice he struck out. 0-2 and 1-2.
Yeah, Chad's got that look on his face like, seriously? what am I, how am I missing here? 0-2 the count. And he hooks this one to left, and that's going to get down, and it should be extra bases. Dwight Smith plays it off the wall, and Pinder with a double.
You live by the changeup, you die by it, and he just threw one that left up at 78 miles per hour, and Chad Pinder all over it, hooking it down the left field line. As this pitch away from him, and he just reached out and raked it. See, you could do that with a changeup. Fastball, you're not going to hit it that strongly. But hooking down the left field line, an easy double for Fowler, or for Pinder with Fowler up.
Well, the A's have 5 hits tonight. 1 home run and 4 doubles.
Like that.
So they're doing good things to their slugging percentage.
Just a simple base hit now to drive in a run. So he waited that time almost like you think he's going to get a changeup, but it was a fastball.
It was very late.
Yeah.
But he's got a plan.
I like what, I mean, hitters will say it. People say you can look for a changeup. No, you can't. I mean, it's hard to sit back. I mean, if you know 100% he's going to throw it, that's fine. But it's hard to stay back, because you're always in the back of your mind, he's going to throw a fastball, and I want to be ready for it.
Had a good swing there on a fastball, 89 miles an hour.
See, you can adjust off a fastball. It's hard to adjust off of something soft. Some sort of a curveball, changeup, even slider. That's why if you look fastball, try to make an adjustment on those other pitches, then you can have success.
So 0-2. And that changeup kind of floats outside.
Well, Estrada over 100 pitches, and that usually means bullpen activity.
105 is his season high. His last outing, 103. Foul straight back on the fastball. So you see the fastball is always right around 88, 89, 90.
Yep. John Gibbons, one of the best managers at handling a pitching staff, as he is on the top step. He's been thinking about the pitch count and also trying to see if his starter can get out of this jam before he might make a move for the 8th inning.
Pinder, good speed at second base. Foul back again. Well, the Blue Jays, I think going into the season, they were very confident about their starting rotation and maybe a little bit worried about the bullpen. The bullpen's been good.
Yes, they have.
The rotation has not been good. You just cannot figure things out.
Marcus Stroman doesn't help being on the disabled list.
No.
No, that doesn't help. And Osuda, their closer, is on the restricted list, and who knows if he's going to come back again.
Right center field, and that's going to get down for a hit. Pinder scores. Fowler hustling in the second, and he's got a double, and the A's have a lead.
Another double, a 2-strike double. That's a great at bat because he fouled off 3. He started the at bat 0-2, and then he gets the base hit, split the gap in right center. So Chad Pinder gets his first hit after a couple of strikeouts. The breaking ball down and in, and Fowler, it's almost Steve Maley going down to block a ball, but it stayed up. And with 2 outs, there's a ball. It looked like it might hang up, but then all of a sudden it goes to the gap. And great hustle by Fowler with Ballard getting it, spinning it. Fowler showing his tremendous speed, so he is having quite a night, young man. Especially a 2-out RBI double.
And here's Fegley. Fegley swings and misses. Fegley has struck out and hit a fly ball to right field. Season high in pitches now for Estrada. So he jumps ahead of Fegley. He was ahead of Fowler.
And you know, the thing that John Gibbons has done in this inning, and you talk about building confidence in a pitcher, because you have a double with 2 outs, it's been very easy to take him out. But it looks like Gibbons is trying to let him get out of his own jam. Now, he did allow a run to score, but he could have taken him out. But confidence building is huge for a manager.
Fegley drives one left center field. Smith not going to get it, and it bangs off the wall. Fowler scores another double for the A's.
Now, he might have to take him out now. That's a great swing by Josh Fegley in his first game. And here comes John Gibbons, but man, give him credit for letting him try. And Josh Fegley had to provide his own power on this one. That's a great swing from the A's catcher in his first game. So Lucas, a great job in his first game tonight. Josh Fegley, his first one, brings in Dustin Fowler, who gave the A's the lead.
So 3 doubles in the inning, 6 doubles in the game, a 3-1 A's lead. When it's time for change things, Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
You by the Habit Burger. Try the new Guacamole Crunch Char Burger at the Habit Burger Grill. It's not the same without the flame.
So the A's, 3 consecutive doubles with 2 outs, and they scored twice to take the lead. So Marco Estrada 1 out away from getting through the 7th inning, but could not do it. So the A's now with 6 doubles and a home run. So 7 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts for Marco Estrada. So the new pitcher is Danny Barnes. Danny Barnes, 18th appearance. ERA right at 3, 18 hits and 8 walks in 15 innings. Granderson, long run toward the line, fair territory, he's got it. Side retired, but the A's scored twice on 3 consecutive doubles. 7th inning stretch from Toronto, 3-1 Athletics. Long. Sunday it's Game 3 at Oracle. Coverage begins at 3:30 with special edition of Warriors Outsiders. Then it's Warriors Playoff Central before and after the game. It all starts on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. So that is a big one. Game 3 series tied at 1. Oh boy. 3-1. A's lead the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 7th inning on a Friday night in Toronto. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So here is Chris Hatcher. Hatcher takes over in the 7th. So let's give Josh Lucas and Danny Coulombe some credit. They both did a good job. Coulombe goes an inning and a third, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, after Lucas gave up 1 run in 3 2/3 innings. Brett Anderson left after 1 with a left shoulder strain. Martin, Maley, and Smith here for the Blue Jays.
Winning pitcher last night's game, Yusmeiro Petit, getting loose in the bullpen as Chris Hatcher falls behind 2-0.
Ray, last night, Casilla, 41 pitches. Petit, 29 pitches. Trevino, 19 pitches.
Yeah, Trevino's not available. He's been workhorse and he's been working a lot. Melvin said probably not tonight for him.
3-0 pitch right in there for a strike. So again, that's what Bob Melvin kind of has to navigate around. But you know, last night and into tonight.
And one of the saviors tonight probably is the fact that Blake Treinen could go 2. And they may see him in the 8th inning, depending what happens here. It's a good comeback here.
Lowry out, Canna in, and Lowry reaches up to make the catch. So Russell Martin 0 for 3.
So you said the A's have 7 hits, 1 home run, 6 doubles, right?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Do you know that the only hit the A's have recorded tonight without 2 strikes has been Dustin Fowler's home run?
So
6 doubles, all with 2 strikes. Right, Mark?
That's pretty good.
But that's impressive because we have seen it on this trip, and I know Coach and the guys back in the studio said, you know, difference for the ball club, whatever, but how about 2 strike hits? I mean, to me, that's one of the positives because you don't give up an at bat. You keep battling, and you get a 2-strike double, and you have 6 of them tonight. That's pretty impressive. And Fowler's opposite field home run, but his at bat that he had last inning, top of this inning, probably more impressive, as impressive as the home run, especially battling and hitting the double to drive in the go-ahead run. Jed Lowry a couple of doubles on 2 strikes. Pender started the inning with a 2-strike double.
And on 3 pitches, Hatcher strikes out Luke Maile. 10 strikeouts now for A's pitchers.
Got one of the things that Danny Coulomb talked about is this high fastball just blew by Maile. When we were in Boston finishing on Wednesday, I saw him down in the bullpen and he didn't have a catcher, and I said, well, what were you doing? He said, I was just kind of working on some things. He said he saw a video of Brett Gardner doing a workout, and he said he had a batting tee that was about 6 to 8 inches off the ground, and he was getting under the fastball. We've talked about how the sinker ball pitchers, the guys are able to get under it. And he says, what I'm trying to do is change the eyesight by pitching up in the strike zone a little bit more, because if I pitch down and they can get under it, it's counterproductive. So he's trying to elevate, which he did a very good job tonight. He struck out 3 in Boston, and tonight, good job for him here. How about this elevated fastball? That's what we're talking about. If you can go upstairs like that, it's hard for a hitter to catch up to it. In this case, Maile, a little bit of a uppercut swing. Unlike Evan Gattis with his base hit off of Tyler Clippard.
The 1-1 to Dwight Smith, who has struck out and grounded out. Swing and a miss. Good off speed from Hatcher. Blue Jays also playing without Randall Grichuk, who's got a knee sprain. He's on the disabled list. He'd be playing every day if he was here. Got him from the Cardinals over the winter. Pretty good younger outfielder. Tulowitzki on the disabled list.
I think Tulo has probably hurt him as much as anything, especially losing Encarnacion and Bautista. At least you had the veteran presence in Tulowitzki.
There's a line drive to right field, and that's a base hit for Smith. So the Blue Jays trying to put something together with 2 outs.
Well, that's a 2-strike hit. Seems to be common for both teams as Hatcher pounds his hand into his glove. Talking about an exaggerated leg kick.
So we're going to get a pinch hitter. It's the youngster Richard Arena, who is a switch hitter. One of the Blue Jays' top prospects.
Don't have to worry about another lefty out of the A's bullpen because he's gone. Danny Coulomb, the only lefty.
First pitch to Arena is a strike. So hitting for Urshela, so he'll just stay in the game at shortstop. A couple of hits last night for Arena, so the A's saw him in game 1 of the series. And Tepera. More action out in that Blue Jays bullpen. To the count with Curtis Granderson waiting in the on-deck circle. Inside. Arena
is 22 years old. He's from the Dominican Republic. Signed with the Blue Jays in 2012. Interesting. The Blue Jays signed Mirena, and then the very next day they signed Barreto. Of course, Barreto now with the Athletics. About the same age.
Right now, there's nobody from that trade in the big leagues.
Nope.
From the Blue Jays for Josh Donaldson.
Smith decent lead at first, and Mirena steps out. With this young man, and you mentioned Bichette, Guerrero, one of the future infielders for the Toronto Blue Jays. Swing and a miss. He chased a high fastball. Side retired. 2 more strikeouts for A's pitchers. We are moving to the 8th. 3-1 Athletics lead. Check that out.
Oh, this is the play. That's
Genius.
That is unbelievable. That way you don't have to worry about a foam at the top, right? Mark knows all about those.
That is pretty cool. 3-1 the A's lead, and they're trying to make it 2 in a row over the Blue Jays. Danny Barnes back out there, facing Joyce, Lowry, and Davis. Everybody moving around a little bit. Mirena stays in the game. Richard Mirena at shortstop. There he is. So he is the lone man on the left side of the infield right now for Matt Joyce, who's 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts. Astros leading the Indians 1-0 in Houston, bottom of the 4th. Good series there. That's Aaron Luke, the lone left-hander in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Clevenger and Morton squaring off in that series in Cleveland.
Morton has been outstanding.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Come on.
kind of a throw-in.
He's 5-0 with a 2.03 ERA.
He's going to make some money after this year. What, he's on a 2-year deal?
Yep,
As a 2-year deal last year. As we'll just give him a chance. Yeah.
Give him a chance. Astros have won 4 out of their last 5 as they have a 2.5 game lead now over the Angels. Angels have lost 3 in a row and 5 out of their last 7. They will be at home tonight to the Rays. Matt Chapman, just in case we need a bullpen arm.
Yeah, that's smart on his part to go down and throw. He's probably going for defense. But normally you have to throw while you're out taking ground balls at third.
So Joyce is retired, 1 away.
Fans, this Memorial Day weekend celebrate Star Wars with a night of summer fireworks presented by Lagunitas. Clear your calendar to be at the ballpark on Friday, May the 25th. That's coming up 1 week from tonight. That's against the Diamondbacks. Enjoy Oakland's best fireworks with a Star Wars twist. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars to get started. A lot of fun at the Coliseum. Appreciate Lagunitas sponsoring, and always great fireworks. That's the first of 7 on the calendar for this year.
First pitch to Lowry. Hit hard toward first. Smokes. Good first baseman. Scoops it up. So Lowry is retired after a couple of doubles tonight, so he's 2 for 4. And here's Chris Davis. See where the Angels lost Keenan Middleton, Tommy John surgery.
How about that?
Tommy John gets another guy.
It's amazing.
He was their closer. Nice throwing young right-hander.
Since we were in Boston, Carson Smith, when he threw his glove and had the injury to his right shoulder, not a good idea to come out and say he was overworked and that contributed to that injury.
Yeah,
that's not good, you know, because I mean, if you get upset, you do that, and you throw it.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's it's sort of your deal.
Well,
you gotta wear that one.
Yeah, and how are you going to bring in Alex Cora, the pitching coach, Dave Dombrowski, and say, "Oh, you overworked me, so I injured myself"? No, I don't think so.
Right field, and it's going to fall. Chris Davis, after grounding out 3 straight times to the shortstop, drops a single into right field.
And what we're seeing and have seen more and more is John Gibbons going to the mound, but more and more you see the outfielders coming up short and not trying to make a spectacular play. Pilar did earlier. Jed Lowry got a double. Dustin Fowler last night did it. Ball got by him, so this time Granderson let it check up, got the ball back in, holding him to a single.
So Loop's going to come in to face Olsen. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the A's have a runner at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be the lefty Aaron Loop, he's the only lefty the Blue Jays have out in their bullpen. No record, a 3.57 ERA, and he's going to face Matt Olson. First pitch is on the inside corner, first strike. Olson against left-handers this year is 9 for 47. That's a 191 average. He does not have a home run against a left-hander.
What he does have is a double to the opposite field, and they're shifting him to pull the ball to the right side on the ground. The outfield kind of straight up, but he is a strong young man, and we've seen him against lefties just kind of drag the bat through and go to the opposite field.
So 2-1 here. Russell Martin, the third baseman, over on the right side of second base. Olson lays off that sweeping slider, and now it's 3-1. Canna, a right-handed hitter, will be next. Olson's good swing. Look at where that pitch was. Right down the middle.
Yeah.
And Olson had a mighty swing.
Well, right there it is, and that's the type of pitch you get a base hit on opposite field, or maybe even extra bases, or maybe even a home run with the kind of power he has.
So Chris Davis will take off. Here's the pitch, and it's bounced foul right at home plate. Loop. See a windup like loop pass, or a delivery where he's really drops down. He's probably a tough on left-handed hitters, but it'd be hard not to look away as a left-handed hitter, but he's tried to run the ball in on Olson.
It's a good point, because ideally you want to pitch away, because with the hitter opening up, you pitch inside and make a mistake. It could be a dangerous situation for the pitcher, especially with the power of Olson.
Did it again.
Yeah, he did. He's staying in there.
Aaron Loop. He's been around a while. That's a fair ball right to Smoke. So Loop does his job. He gets the dangerous Olson, and the A's do not score. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 3-8-0 for the A's. They broke the 1-1 tie in the 7th inning. And for the Blue Jays, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. Brett Anderson left the game in the first. Marco Estrada, 6 2/3 innings. Dustin Fowler with his first major league home run. But this is what happened when Brett Anderson went out to warm up for the bottom of the second inning. You see him grimacing a little bit, and he had to come out of the game. It was a left shoulder strain. So that's not great news. Andrew Triggs went on the disabled list today. And we'll see what happens with Brett Anderson. We can't tell you this, though. Sean Manaea will pitch tomorrow, and Daniel Migden will pitch on Sunday. After that, we're just not sure. We're just not sure. He's having an off day on Monday, so you have some time to make some decisions. Pitcher is Yusmeiro Petit.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? What a great sign by the A's during the offseason. Hatcher goes the 7th, Petit the 8th, and really what Petit does is allow Trinan, if everything goes well in this inning, to pitch the 9th.
Lowry throws out Granderson, 1 away.
Might keep an eye on the bullpen also, because as Trinan was talking about during the Boston series, he was up in the 8th inning just in case they needed him. But he is not throwing now, as it seems the bullpen is quiet.
Again, Petit 29 pitches last night.
You'd have to think tomorrow is an off day for him. Give him 2 with tomorrow and Monday, but who knows? Actually, tomorrow is Saturday. My apologies. It seems like the series started on Friday, but this is just Friday. There's Trinan.
We've seen him come in the 8th inning before. Do a great job. Rangers leading the White Sox 4-3 in the second inning. So a slugfest going on in Chicago. Rangers 17 and 28 on the year. Swing and a miss. Orioles leading the Red Sox 6-3, bottom of the 7th at Fenway. One and 2 to Donaldson. Donaldson drives into center. Fowler goes back. Fowler's got it.
Now, fans attending A's home games Friday through Sunday and select dates can participate in the 50-50 raffles presented by Sutter Health. Tickets are sold from gates opening through the last out of the 6th inning from raffle sellers or at the kiosk at section 217. The winner will be announced in game and will receive 50% of the jackpot, with the remainder benefiting the A's Community Fund. Learn more at athletics.com/raffle.
So 2 outs, and here's Justin Smoke, who takes outside. Smoke a line out and 2 strikeouts. See Chapman into the game at third. Right now he's actually playing short. Now, Ray, I asked Marcus Semien about the shifting this year, and he said they talked a lot about it in spring training, and they decided that Marcus has pretty good range to go out into short right field, and the other part of it was that Matt Chapman is a natural shortstop.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So you're really putting a natural shortstop in that position. You're keeping Jed Lowry in his area, and you're putting Marcus Semien, who probably has a little more range than Jed, out in that short right field where there is a little more ground to cover.
That's a great point. And I mean, you're also looking at very good arm strength with Matt Chapman. He can handle anything on the left side as deep as you want to go.
So these things talked a lot about. Like I said, we spent a lot of time just going over the different situations for these shifts, which are now such a regular thing in baseball.
Well, that is Blake trying to get him loose, and I'm sure Bob Melvin will love to stay away from him. He's talking to his third base coach, Matt Williams, another former manager. And I'm sure there's several conversations throughout the game. He's got Ryan Christensen as bench coach, but Matt's been through those situations with Washington Nationals.
Herbis Solarte, he is a dangerous hitter. He's got 9 home runs this year.
That's 5 consecutive out of the strike zone. You just don't want him to groove one after that. And now the defense are shifting a little bit more, figuring he's going to pull. So you have Simeon right behind second base. Chapman moving a little bit over towards short. And Lowry on the right side.
And that's going to get through into right field for a base hit. Smoke will stop at second. So now you got 2 on and 2 out.
Did not move far enough.
Solarte gets his second hit. And the hitter is Pilar. So now it is decision time for Bob Melvin.
Well, the main thing is away. Kept him in the park. And even though it's a ground ball, Jed Lowry, who had moved over a little bit to his left. And Bob Melvin's going to go to Trinan.
And the call has been made. So Smero Petit got the first 2 outs, then a walk and a single. So 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. The closer Trinan coming in.
By Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
All right, so tension here with Trinan coming in. 2 on, 2 out. Kevin Pilar, the hitter. Pilar 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a pop out to short. Trinan's first pitch fouled right at the plate.
Blake Trinan, this is not unfamiliar territory for him because he has come in the 8th inning. Record of 2-1 is 8 for 10 in save opportunities, and those have not just blown saves in the 9th inning. He has had one I can think of against the White Sox. He pitched 3 innings. That was one that Jed Lowry hit the home run. He did blow a save on that one, but did pitch 3. The A's got the win. He's pitched well.
Pilar went around, and it's 0-2. Nasty pitch from Trinan.
That's not your basic 81, 82 mile-an-hour slider. Nasty slider, and Pilar with a big swing on a pitch way out of the strike zone.
Pilar, a 3-0-3 hitter with runners in scoring position. one bounces out in front. Fegley blocks it, and it rolls actually back toward the mound.
I was thinking about Josh Fegley and just coming up his first game tonight, his hard slider. And that's a great job of blocking the ball, moving his body laterally to be able to get in front of it. But you think about Blake Trinan. He's not an easy guy to catch. I mean, he's got a nasty hard sinker at about 98. He's got a hard slider. And boy, if you're back behind the plate, and right now, that was a block to keep 2 runners out of scoring position, which is huge. The movement on his sinker is enough, but you think about the slider that Pilar swung and missed for strike 2.
Pilar, a pretty good swing at that one, 97 miles an hour. Here's the runners in scoring position numbers for tonight. The A's 2 for 9, the Blue Jays 2 for 6.
2 for 7 sounds pretty good for the Blue Jays. We'll get this out.
Trinan. The pitch. Got him. Swinging. The ball pops away from Fegley. Pilar says, I fouled it. That argument usually never works. And Trinan gets the big strikeout. Blue Jays strand a pair. 9th inning coming up.
Talked about the young man, what a road trip he has had. New York, Boston, and now his first major league home run to left field for Dustin Fowler's first major league home run. Got his triple, first major league hit a week ago tonight for stolen base. He's got a lot of firsts out of the way on this road trip, and it's right now, this is the 8th game of the trip. So congratulations to Dustin Fowler on a major accomplishment this road trip.
So the new pitcher for the Blue Jays is Ryan Tepera.
Perfect last night in 1 inning. One of 6 relievers used by the Blue Jays last night.
3-1 with a 3.05 ERA. This one's popped up straight back, and the count 1-1. Canna, Pinder, and Fowler. Actually, it's not Pinder, it's Chapman, excuse me. Chapman is the on-deck hitter.
Not a bad guy to put in for defense, but also put him in that spot of the batting line. Doesn't hurt as well.
A foul ball to make the count 1-2. Canna, a couple of fly balls to center field and a foul out to the catcher. Tepera, the fourth pitcher for the Blue Jays. And Estrada, Barnes, Luke, and Tepera. That one rolled foul, so Canna putting on a good battle. So 2-2 to Mark Canna. He's with 8 hits in the game. The Blue Jays with just 6. Neither team has made an error. So now full count.
The good thing about the A's, we've talked about how they keep adding on. As John Gibbons looks on as his catcher Maley. Not a particularly great job of blocking the ball backhanded, but he did the job with the ball in the dirt. Always a concern with 2 strikes on the hitter that you do that and the ball gets by you.
Payoff pitch, here it is, and Canna swings and misses. Pitch that was running in on him. So that is strikeout number 7 for Blue Jays pitchers.
You said it right. Ball running in. That's a tough pitch to hit, and
that's a Blake Trinan pitch.
That's a hard sinker down and in. You're right.
So here's Chapman. His first at bat. Pinder had a double and a run scored. So I have to ask you, Ray, did you see Buck Showalter last night?
No, I didn't. What did he do?
It was the best.
What did he do?
So Bogarts for the Red Sox hits a 3-run homer in the 5th inning. Right?
Yeah. Makes the game like 6-0. So as Bogarts is running around, he's not running fast or slow. It's a pretty normal home run trot. When he steps on second base, Buck comes out of the dugout for the pitching change. Bogarts steps on third base, and Buck is just crossing the line.
Oh, man.
By the time Bogarts gets to the plate, Buck is already on the mound. It was awesome. Chapman's going to round first. He's going to take a look. He's going to try for 2. The throw wide, and Matt Chapman's at second base. We'll see what the ruling is. That was a smash. Russell Martin just really did not have much of a chance at it, and it's going to be a double.
Oh, a double with less than 2 strikes. That's not good. No. But you're right. He hit it hard, and that ball running in, maybe a backup slider, but hard hit. I don't care, catcher, third baseman. That's a tough play. And Martin, a catcher by trade, trying to go to his right to catch the ball, could not. Came up, the ball stayed down, and Matt Chapman a hustle double. That's important. Try to get an extra run. Like Trinan already is qualifying for a save, getting a big third out in the 8th inning.
7 doubles tonight for the A's. And here's Fowler. But you know, Buck, he gets to the mound quickly anyways.
That's funny.
It was Bogarts hit third, and he saw this person like walking in front of him, and it was Buck Showalter. Buck was not happy.
Well, Buck cannot be too happy this year, considering how poorly the Orioles are playing.
Yeah, the Orioles have the 2nd worst record in all of baseball. Only the White Sox are worse. That's no fun when you have a veteran team.
That's right.
And the Orioles have had some good teams the last 8 to 10 years. Now it's 3-0 to Fowler. Fowler's had a big night. His first big league home run in the 3rd, and then he had an RBI double in the 7th. And the RBI double in the 7th gave the A's the lead.
Yep.
So a couple of huge hits.
Okay, the home run's great, but what he did starting 0-2 and fouling off 3 with a couple of strikes, and it's one of those, I've thrown him everything in the world, let me try some other pitch, and he's like he tried to break him ball down and in. Next thing you know, it's a home run, or at least a double to right center, home run on a fastball. Uh-oh.
And just getting back is Chapman. That's a good move by Tepera. Well executed.
And you're kind of on your own at second. Third base coach can watch, but sometimes you can't hear. And you know the second baseman's not going to be the guy getting in trying to do the pickoff, because in this case Solarte's so far off, so it has to be Urena, and almost got it. Hand got in before the tag on the head. Are they looking at it?
The Blue Jays just trying to make sure, but they are going to look at it. Interesting. So maybe they see something that we did not see.
Well, the key is, did the hand get in before the tag? The tag was high. There's Brian Gorman, second base umpire, who made the call. Check the hand before the tag. See if the hand gets in. The throw.
Well, I think what you need to look for is, did he tag him on the shoulder, or did he tag him on the helmet before the shoulder? Because if he tagged him on the helmet, then I think he's out. See, did he tag him on the helmet?
How many slow-mos you going to get? No, his hand is in. But you know what? You know what he should have done? To put the knee down, so he's sliding in to a knee. He could have blocked him off. If you know the runner is going to slide head first, put the knee down. If it's a cleats, it's a little different story. But it is the 9th inning, and for John Gibbons, why not? Maybe catch lightning at bottom.
Brian Gorman, gentleman on the left, that's who made the call, and he is the crew chief. So they're taking a long look at it on a very close play.
Well, I think the other angle showed that he didn't hit his helmet. Right? Is that what the tag was, or at least?
He's out.
Wow. Well, as Bob Mullen said, they're always on the wrong end of it. The umpires definitively noticed that the tag was made before the hand reached the bag. I didn't think anything definitive about it, but got the call.
So that is the second out here in the 9th inning, and it's a big out. It takes a runner out of scoring position. So the count 3-1 to Fowler. Fowler fouls it back, so now full count.
Cap, you know what I think? I think they want to set a record for overturn calls. I think they're on pace for the record ever. Huh? It's a lot of overturns. One that the A's not happy to have.
So we're told that was overturn number 189 in the middle of May. 3-2 pitch, here it is, and it's inside, and Fowler walks.
Fans, the Harvey the Rabbit backpack makes its debut Saturday, May 26th, week from tomorrow. It's against the Diamondbacks. First 15,000 fans get this giveaway. It's presented by Ross Dress for Less. The A's 50th anniversary season-long celebration continues. The special Swinging A's celebration, a day dedicated to honoring a special team from the 70s. Make sure you grab your tickets at athletics.com/tickets. Can't wait to see Harvey the Rabbit backpack.
Fegley rips one down the left field line, but it's foul.
Okay, one of the things Josh Fegley said was about, he fractured his 2 fingers on his throwing hand. It was option AAA, but the one thing he said, getting the opportunity to play, catch, swing the bat, And the way he swung the bat tonight, you can understand how much he was happy to be able to be at AAA and swing the bat. Of course, he's happier to be here in the big leagues.
See if Fowler runs. He was thinking about it. Now the count is 0-2. This would probably be a good time to run. Fegley doubled an RBI in the 7th inning. Pretty good lead by Fowler. He's got a lean going towards second base. In the 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th, the Blue Jays will have Martin, Maley, Smith. Against that guy, Rick Train. Quick throw, a little bit closer play at first. Outfield straightaway for Fegley. Solarte, the second baseman, slid over toward the bag a little bit. It's up and in to Fegley. He's trying to get over the 500 mark. Fowler runs, pitches high, throw to second base. At time, Dustin Fowler gets his second stolen base.
That was an easy stolen base too. I mean, of course, the pitcher doesn't help. Tepera has a high leg kick. That is very slow to the plate, and Dustin Fowler with a tremendous speed with the head down.
Yeah, stole that one off the pitcher.
Someplace Ricky Henderson saying, yep, he can run. Teach him a few things, he may still 50, 60 bases a year. Still come up 100 short.
2-2 pitch, just a little bit high. It was a breaking ball, it just kind of spun up there a little bit.
And they're not calling the high strike or the high pitch according to our box.
So 3-2 to Josh Fegley, trying to give the A's another insurance run. Ryan Tepera is ready. And he delivers, and the ball's popped up. Maley, the catcher, flips the mask. Looks like he's going to have just enough room, and he's got it. So the A's threaten but do not score. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Trying to save it for the A's.
return home for their second game this week as they face DC United. It's also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. The home of the authentic Quakes fan is NBC Sports California. Well, the A's trying to get their 5th win on this road trip. They're currently 4-3 on the 10-game trip. And they got a chance to make it 2 in a row here over the Blue Jays. They lead 3-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning with their closer Trinan getting a big out in the 8th inning and now trying to get the final 3 outs here in the 9th. Get the A's up over the 500 mark. So Russell Martin leading things off. First pitch is a swing and a miss. Martin is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. A's pitchers have 12 strikeouts tonight. Luke Maile is on deck, and then Dwight Smith. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And Trinan pitch right there. It just bores in on the right-handed hitters, and there's just not anything you can do with it.
Except hope it doesn't hit your kneecap. That's how hard he throws it. Very tough to hit.
That's Chapman. Chapman throws 1 away.
Well, here he goes with the set cast. Look at the form is tremendous, and then he goes into a feet first slide. Absolutely no chance to throw him out. First to second, 3-point. Wow, that's flying. And, you know, they put the stopwatch on that, and it's one of those they say don't even throw, don't have a chance. Gets that kind of a jump. It's hard for a catcher. I mean, catcher anything under 2 seconds to second base is good, but the pitcher has to deliver it. In this case, about 1 second, and it's just not doing it.
Here's Maile. First pitch is down and away. Luke Maile, who is 1 for 3 with a double. He has scored the Blue Jays' only run. He scored on Urshela's single, and that was in the 5th inning. Blue Jays have scored the 3rd most runs in the American League. This is a good offensive team. He scored 5 last night in a loss and just 1 run on 6 hits tonight against really the A's bullpen.
Yeah, it has been a bullpen game just like last night.
Swing and a miss. Slider at 89.
Hard slider, and you know, Cap, I think you said it best that this becomes a manager's sometimes nightmare, sometimes really, in this case, success if it works out. They did last night with the bullpen, trying to do it again tonight. Very unusual that you go back-to-back games, that you have your starter exit as early as the A's have in these 2 games. Puts a burden on your bullpen, but it shows just the quality of manager that Bob Millman is, that he could navigate through this lineup, the best, one of the best of the game. And so far, have the bullpen do a tremendous job.
Two pitch is that hard slider, and this time Maile is able to lay off. So 3-2 with Dwight Smith waiting in the on deck circle. Left-handed hitter. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 98 miles an hour. 13 strikeouts for A's pitching.
Cap, if you can challenge, if you have that kind of a fastball, why mess around with it? Just throw it down the middle, take the movement down, get a strikeout, and from a hitter standpoint, you're just saying, I know he's going to throw a fastball, but at 98 with movement, it's hard to hit anything.
So here is Dwight Smith. First pitch is a little bit low at 99. The old 99 mile an hour sinker.
Turbo sinker.
That is a turbo sinker. Smith has a base hit. That was in the 7th inning. Checks his swing. It's a strike.
And you know what, Kai? The thing about Trinan, it's not trying to hump up and throw it that hard. It's just an easy delivery that he's capable of doing. And he comes back for the Nationals, back to the A's, and trying to solidify the role as a closer, which he says he loves.
And that's a swing, says Adrian Johnson.
On the check swing, high leg kick, gets a foot down, and see the top of the bat. The bat head went through. And that's why Josh Phegley alertly asked for the appeal and got the call.
So Trinan trying to finish it off. And he doesn't. Not yet, anyways. And fouled right at the feet of Phegley.
But not much you can do, and just hope. I mean, you throw it that hard, you're lucky to catch it, much less to catch a foul tip.
Fastball away. The rookie Moreno would be next if Smith was able to get aboard. Trinan doesn't want to have anything to do with that. Pitch number 20 coming up from Trinan. Here it is. Just a touch low.
I like the fact the A's defense is about as straight up as you could see, just because the way the ball can come off the bat of a hitter, that is straight up, infield and outfield. Shook off the fastball to go to the breaking ball.
And here it is. 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and that's the ball game. The night belongs to the bullpen, folks. 8 innings out of the A's bullpen, with Trinan finishing it off. And the A's have won the first 2 games of this series over the Toronto Blue Jays, and it was pitching tonight, and that was the answer. Time of game was 2 hours and 55 minutes. The attendance was 21,703. Final score: the Oakland Athletics over the Toronto Blue Jays, 3-1. Coming up next, it's A's Postgame Live. Let's hand it over to Jim Cosamore in the studio.